welcome back to my kitchen.
Look who's here. It's me, y'all.
You done?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm finished.
Okay. All right. Y'all, today we're making this highly requested caramel buttermilk pound cake. Okay. I'll be using 3 cups of cake flour. Into this cake flour, I've added 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I was in the mood to sift today, so I sifted 2 times. We have 3 cups of sugar. I have 6 large eggs that I've already cracked. They are room temperature. I have 1 cup of room temperature buttermilk. This is the whole buttermilk, okay? We want the whole buttermilk, all right? And then I have 3 sticks. I started to open this one. 3 sticks of unsalted butter. It too is room temperature. Let's see. For my flavorings today, I'm going to use some vanilla. I don't usually measure, okay? I want to add some butter extract, and then I have some caramel flavored oil that I want to use. This is totally not necessary. You can stop at just the vanilla, but I like adding the oils, the LorAnn oils. This is the caramel. I purchased it locally from my kitchen cake magic. Okay, I've heard that you can purchase them online, but again, I purchased mine locally. My oven has been preheated to 325 degrees. And you guys, after we bake this cake, we're going to do a caramel icing, or not an icing, caramel glaze. I'm going to pour that over this delicious cake. Yeah, see, this is why I like to record when I'm home alone, because all the extracurricular noise in the background from certain people. It be so quiet when we be here by ourselves, don't it, y'all?
Jack can make a lot of noise.
Okay, so we've added our 3 sticks of unsalted butter to our mixing bowl. If by chance you use salted butter, then just omit adding that extra 1/4 teaspoon of salt, okay? Now I'm going to go on and add my flavorings to this mixing process. I like to add it in the beginning, that way my extracts and flavorings will be incorporated through the entire mixing process. So I'll start by adding some of this vanilla that I thought was open. Ooh. Oh. Let's see, y'all. I need to get something to get it open. So I can grab that little tab. Do this. Okay. There we go. So we'll add the vanilla. And then you guys, I'll taste my batter too. If I feel like I need some more flavorings, I will add it. If I feel like I need some more flavor. This is the butter extract, because I like to taste the flavor when I bake a cake, y'all. I need to taste the flavor. Now with the caramel oil, I'm going to start with maybe about half of this bottle. Again, as I taste the batter, if I feel like I need some more, I'll add it, okay? So what I'll do first, I'm using my whisk attachment today rather than the flat beater, just because I want to. Okie dokie. My oven, I did say it's preheated to 320, right? Of course, I've washed my hands. Y'all don't be in the kitchen with nasty hands, because that's just nasty. Now, when I turn my mixer on, I'm just going to mix up this butter just a few minutes by itself to get it mixed up really good. And then we're going to slowly start adding our 3 cups of sugar. I'm going to cream this butter and sugar for at least 10 minutes. I'll set me a timer on my microwave. Walk away, do something else. You cannot skimp on this part, okay? It can affect the outcome of your cake. Now what will happen as I'm creaming this butter and sugar is that you'll notice that the butter and sugar, it will start collecting on the sides of my bowl. I'll have to stop at least a couple of times and scrape down my bowl, because if it's up here and not down in the bowl, it's not getting properly creamed. Do not skimp on this part. I usually cream on high, about a medium high, so this mixer is usually set on about 8.5. If you've ever seen a cake where the inside of it looks kind of gummy and gooey, like it's not done, oftentimes that happens because it's not been properly creamed, okay? So take your time, do the creaming process. So once we get the sugar added, we cream for 10 minutes. I'm actually going to stop the mixer and I'll come back and show you what light and fluffy should look like. When you hear me say it should look light and fluffy, you don't want to hear those sugar crystals mixing around at the bottom of your bowl. It's going to be light and fluffy. The butter is actually going to lighten up some, so it'll be lighter in color. But like I said, I'm going to stop the mixer and come back and show you exactly what light and fluffy should look like. Minutes later, we are light and fluffy, okay? So that's exactly what you want to be looking like. Really, really fluffy. Next, we will be adding our eggs one at a time. And when I add an egg, sometimes 2 will jump in. If that happens, no worries, just mix a few seconds longer. But I usually mix maybe about 5 or 6 seconds. That yolk will break up, disappear, or mix in just a little bit. I do not wait for the yolk to totally disappear, okay? So we'll add the eggs one at a time, and then it'll be time to start adding our flour and our buttermilk. You want to alternate that flour and that buttermilk, okay? You start with the flour, and you end with dry. So we're going to go back and forth and alternate adding flour, buttermilk, until we've added everything. And again, we're going to end with the flour, all right? Once it's time to start adding that flour, like after I add the eggs, you're going to notice I'm going to turn this mixer way down. You do this part on low. So this mixer is usually set on about 2. You're not trying to get this batter silky smooth. And this is where a lot of people kind of mess up, because they overmix. They're trying to get the batter smooth, no lumps. That's not what we're trying to do. This process, or this part of the mixing process, doesn't take nearly as long as the creaming of the butter and the sugar. This literally takes about 2 minutes or less, so not long at all. Okay, so we'll start adding our eggs. We'll turn the mixer down, and then we'll start adding. We will add the rest of our ingredients, and then we'll be ready to put this cake in the oven and bake. I did add, excuse me, I did add the rest of that caramel oil. So we use the entire bottle. Now your batter will look a little curdled, if you will, because we added buttermilk, okay? So I'm going to mix by hand just a little bit more to make sure that I've gotten everything from under the bottom. Okay. I've already greased my cake pan by using old school method. I used the Crisco and then went back with flour and dusted the pan. Okay. Oops. Okay. It didn't break. My hand hit that shield on my mixer, and that's what made it fall off. When I went to pick up this, pick pick up this bowl. I won't worry about eating this batter because it's made with the buttermilk. I'll eat some batter if it's made with regular milk or like a creamer. I don't think I want to eat it with buttermilk. No, me can't like it. Me can't like it. Okay, so now I'm just getting the batter as level as possible. I'm trying to. I'm going to hit it under the bottom to release air bubbles. I bake my cakes in the middle of my oven, so I adjust one of my racks to where it's in the middle. And that's where I bake. We're going to set the timer for 1 hour and 15 minutes. But I will let you know exactly how long it baked once I take it out. We baked for 1 hour and 15 minutes. So we're going to sit here and cool before we flip. And while we are cooling, we're going to make our caramel. And I'm going to use this 1 can, 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk. You guys already know. Clean off, wash off the top of these nasty cans. They are filthy nasty. Been in these tractor trailer trucks, in the warehouses at the grocery store, all the little rodents, the little insects been crawling over the top of them and licking on the... Y'all, wash off these nasty cans. So we're going to have this 14-ounce can, and then we have a 1 cup of brown sugar. I did not pack it at all. And then we have some unsalted butter. You know what? Let's see. Oh my goodness. Trying to decide if I want to use a different butter. I think I'm gonna use some of my Kerrygold butter because I only need a couple of tablespoons of butter. Just a couple of tablespoons. And to that, I'm going to add this 1 cup of light brown sugar. And then our can of sweetened condensed milk. this caramel, I don't think. Maybe I can save some for another time. So it's going to be a whole bunch of caramel. I have to figure out something else to do with the rest of this caramel. Okay. So again, my temperature is set on a medium high. Be careful because, as usual, you do not want to scorch this. So while that's continuing to do its thing, let me flip this cake real quick. Woo. Girl, get your pop holders, get your pop holders. Trying to hurry up and get back to that caramel because I should be stirring and stirring and stirring. Ooh. That's what the pan is looking like. You know, you guys, I think I would have, this is what we're looking like. I'm sure I would have gotten a little higher rise had I used some baking powder. I did not. So we have to sit there and cool. I think somebody asked me, sometimes I use baking powder and sometimes I don't. I remember years ago when I first started baking pound cakes, there was a recipe I had that called for baking powder. But then after looking at other recipes and using Swan's Down, like when they have that whipping cream pound cake on the back, it doesn't call for any baking powder. So I'm like, okay, you can use this without baking powder. So sometimes I use the baking powder, sometimes I don't. But if I had used it today, like I said, I would have gotten a little higher rise on the cake. But anywho, so we're just going to keep stirring this. We're going to turn it down and let it simmer a little bit. That eye's pretty hot, so like I said, I'm trying to be careful. You do not want to scorch it. That's why you have to keep stirring, 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 so that you will not scorch this caramel, okay? So that's what I'll keep doing. The cake will keep cooling. I think I might poke some little holes, some little thin holes in it. Let me take this off this eye. I think I want to poke some little, when I say thin holes, I mean using my cake tester thin, because I think I want to add this caramel in layers. So just by doing like this, that way when I pour the caramel, some of it will kind of seep down in there, okay? So I'm going to do this, and then I'll pour a little bit of the caramel, and I don't want to pour too much in the beginning because I don't want it to run down the sides yet. I just want it to kind of soak into the top, all right? And you guys, I'm bringing this caramel to a boil, and I'm being sure to keep it moving. So this is why I'm whisking, 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 because it will burn, okay? So now I'm going to turn it down, but because this eye is still hot, I'm not going to stop stirring. And I can feel it's starting to thicken up a little bit. And as it cools, it's going to get thick too. So I have me some, I'm going to add a little bit of my French vanilla creamer. A little bit of this French vanilla creamer. Just a couple of teaspoons of it. And then some of my vanilla extract. This burner is turned off, but because it's hot, I'm going to keep stirring for a few more minutes. I'm going to poke some more holes in the cake, and then we're going to pour some of this caramel on the top while the cake is still hot and while the caramel is still hot. Because like I say, I want it to soak in. I'm just going to do the little holes. Y'all, it's been a long time since I've baked a cake using buttermilk. I just prefer, we really love cakes baked with cream cheese. So I don't do buttermilk a lot, but like I say, this was highly requested. And rather than me pouring it right now, I'm just going to use a spoon to kind of drizzle it on because I'll have more control if I do it with a spoon. see, I went on and decided to use all the caramel and filled up, wait a minute, the hole with the caramel. Can you see that? Listen, I'm not tilting it anymore because it'll be on the floor. Y'all already know. You know this caramel is getting ready to run.
It's not hot. It says it's not cold.
No, it's still warm.
It's still warm. Hey, fam!
That caramel is a running. It's a running. Ooh, it's running.
About to go catch it.
Look, y'all. It's still warm. Y'all see that good? It's still warm. Okay. Let's see. Tell me. Yeah, I think that was nice. Did you say? Oh, you said hey earlier. Okay, we're gonna pick us up after.
It's like the candy apple.
What?
Like the caramel candy apple. It's hot.
Yeah, it's still hot. How is it? I can't see your face.
It tastes like the candy apple.
What do you mean it tastes like a candy apple?
You never ate the caramel candy apple?
No, I like the traditional candy apple.
Have y'all ever ate the caramel candy apple?
Yeah, look at that. Look how all that caramel.
It tastes like the candy apple.
Look how all that caramel has ran down. Move to your right a little bit, babe. I'm gonna show the caramel.
It tastes like the caramel candy apple.
Does it?
It does. It really does.
How is the crumb, the cake crumb? This is hot, because this plate is still hot, y'all. But
I'm eating the crumbs.
we have to get out of here, so that's why I couldn't wait until it cooled.
It tastes like the caramel. If you
But
never
how is the texture of the cake?
Oh, it's good. If you never tasted caramel candy apple, eat that. It's good.
I don't want a cake that tastes like a candy apple.
I didn't say it tastes like a candy. Well, it's not a candy apple. It tastes like the caramel. Well, it's caramel. It's good.
The glaze is caramel.
Yeah, it tastes like the caramel.
I mean, it has caramel flavor in the cake.
And that's what I mean. You can taste the caramel. And you can tell it's already, as it's stiffening up. It's like you would wrap the candy apple.
I know I've seen them, but I've never.
They're good.
I like the traditional red candy.
Yeah, that's better. That's good. That's good.
And the crumb is really, the cake is really fluffy.
It is that.
It's fluffy and moist. I still would have liked to taste it done with cream cheese. That one was done with buttermilk. Because it's a, what is
And I'm
it?
wondering-
Caramel buttermilk or buttermilk caramel.
I'm wondering once it's cool.
It's going to get a little stiffer, that caramel.
And I'm talking, would it be like chewy?
It might be a little bit. We'll see, because we're going to
Yeah, I wonder. I really wonder because
we'll eat it later, but yeah,
it tastes just like the other one.
It is definitely still hot. That's pretty, and it is. It's fluffy, it's moist. I wonder if this right here is going to be a hunk of stiff caramel. It's going to be interesting to see how much it stiffens up.
But see, here's the thing.
Ooh.
Here's the thing, guys. When you have the caramel, you could always gather that up, warm it up a little in the microwave, and you can pour it again. It's going to be exactly the same way. That's what the caramel candy apples were. So warm them up.
You put your candy apples in the microwave?
Well, yeah, because, well, we didn't have microwaves like that. We had these big ovens you had to rotate around and heat them up, and it got everything hot.
You didn't have a microwave when you was little?
We put them on.
Babe, don't tell stories.
Babe.
Did you have a microwave? Don't act like you just, I can't lie with you.
Oh, we didn't have a microwave, don't we? We only had an oven.
You really didn't have a microwave?
Y'all had one?
Yeah. You didn't have a microwave? Hey.
Why you
Babe, I'm going to ask Mama. Don't be making stuff. Mama going to get you.
Ask Mama. We didn't have a microwave. It ain't like a microwave.
Mama, okay, Mama will be like, why don't you be telling that story?
Yeah, my.
That might need to be a Sunday afternoon car ride home from church conversation. Okay. Well.
So you warm it up. Then microwave. You put it on the stove. Put it on the stove. Heat it up. It can make real soft again. You can pour it.
All right. Well, you guys, that's it. Is there something else I meant to tell you guys with that caramel?
Strawberry, caramel. Yeah, put caramel on strawberries, or is it?
You can if you want to, with chocolate, like you know the other day I did with the chocolate when I did the little Easter thing. Oh, what I wish I had done, I didn't think about it until later, that when I put that butter in there for the caramel, I should have browned my butter. I wasn't thinking, probably because I need to hurry and get out of here. But so that's one thing I would do differently is brown my butter a little bit. Be careful because you can easily scorch it, but brown my butter first and then add my brown sugar. That's what I would have done differently too as well. Okay, y'all? It still tastes like caramel.
Love this.
For real?
It tastes like caramel.
It is. Let me tell you something. I was saying, you know, you open that can of caramel, that can of sweetened condensed milk, it's open. And I'm like, I know I'm gonna have too much caramel. I started to save some for later, but I'm like, you know what? No, I'm going to fill up the hole in the pound cake, and then we have extra caramel for those that may want it. In any event, you guys, that's it. So, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. That made me want some cold water. If you've not subscribed, please consider doing so and turning
by hitting the nosy.
That's turning on that notification bell. That way you'll be notified.
That's good.
Whatever we're doing, whatever
I promise it's like
it's rich too with that caramel.
No, it's like eating a candy apple. It really is. And so I'm pulling the caramel. I'm pulling the caramel.
Pull the caramel where?
Like caramel in your teeth, like eating a chewy.
They're too much for me.
It's good.
Oh, well, I'm glad you enjoyed the is it caramel buttermilk pound cake. That reminds you of a candy apple. I put some caramel oil inside the cake to give it more of a caramel flavor, but
well, I promise you, if you was in that age where you really love the caramel candy apples, or either like the cowtails.
If you just like caramel.
Yeah, or cowtails, it's gonna be the same thing. It's just on the cake. It's good.
Okie dokie, you guys. Well, thank you so much for watching. We already look forward to you joining us again next time. Bye.